In this video, I am going to discuss few Ncert questions of chapter number 3. The first question is, two trains A and B of length 400 meter each are moving on two parallel tracks with uniform speed of 72 km per hour in the same direction, with A ahead of B. So the initial condition is that there are two trains of same length moving with same speed and in same direction, but the train A is ahead of B. The driver of B decides to overtake A and accelerates by 1 meter per second square. If after 50 seconds the guard of B just brushes past the driver of A, what was the original distance between them? So as the question is saying A was ahead of B, you have to find that distance, that what was the initial distance between both the trains. So first, for the train A, the initial is 72 km per hour or 20 meter per second. This you can convert by multiplying 72 by 5 by 18. So it becomes 20. Time is 50 seconds. Acceleration is 0. Why? Because it is moving with uniform velocity. Now if you apply the second equation of motion, distance covered by train A can be obtained as s equal to ut plus half at square. So in 50 seconds, the train A is moving ahead by 1000 meter. Now let us come for train B. Its velocity was 72, that is 20 meter per second again. Acceleration is 1 meter per second square. For train B, time is 50 seconds. Now if you apply the equation of motion, second one, you get the distance 2250 meter. So in 50 seconds, this train, the train B, is covering distance of 2250 meter, and train A was covering distance of 1000 meter. So initially the distance between both of them was subtraction of these two distance, that is 1250 meter. So this is the distance between both the trains. Next is, on a two-lane road, car A is traveling with speed of 36 km per hour. Two cars B and C approach car A in opposite direction with speed of 54 km per hour. At a certain instant, when distance AB is equal to AC, both being 1 km, B decides to overtake A before C. What minimum acceleration of car B is required to avoid an accident? Now the question is like this. There is a car which is traveling with 36 km per hour. Suppose this is the direction of car A. Two cars B and C approach car A in opposite direction. That means if car A is going like this, one car is coming from this point and one car from this point, and they have certain speeds at a certain distance. When distance AB is equal to AC, both being 1 km, B decides to overtake A before C. What minimum acceleration of car B is required to avoid an accident? Suppose this is the direction of car A and there are two more cars which are coming in opposite direction. Let this be car C and let this be car A. Okay, now the three speeds of three different cars are like this: 36, 54 and 54. If you convert it in meter per second, that is multiplying by 5 by 18, you get 10, 15 and 15. Now you have to find the relative velocity in this case. Now how you have to find relative velocity? See, first you have to find relative velocity of car B with respect to A. This is car B and this is car A. Now they are both are moving in same direction. They both are moving in same direction. When the two things move in same direction, the relative velocity can be calculated by subtracting these. So this is 15 minus 10, so you get 5 meter per second. Now if you calculate relative velocity of car C, it is moving in opposite direction. It is moving in opposite direction. When two objects move in opposite direction, the relative velocity can be calculated by adding those velocities. That's why when there are head-on collisions, when there are accidents from back side or from front side, suppose there is an accident in which a car is hit by another car from back side, and there is one more accident in which car is hit at his head from the front side by another car. So that is front to front, and the first accident was when the car was hit from back. Now in which case the there would be much more loss? The answer would be that front one, because when the things are moving in same direction, moving in opposite direction, there is much more release of energy, because the speed always gets added up. If it is moving with 30, it is moving with 20, and they both collide, the extent would be of 50 km per hour. But suppose there is a car moving with 30 km per hour and it's get hit by a car moving from opposite side by 20 km per hour. So the extent would be at much more loss, because the relative speed gets subtracted in this case when they both are moving in same direction, but it gets added up when they both are moving in opposite direction. So relative velocity of car C with respect to A is 25 meter per second. At a certain instance, both car B and C are at same distance, that is at 1000 km. Now if the time taken by car C to cover 1000 meter would be 1000 divided by 25. 1000 is the distance and 25 is the relative speed, that is 40 seconds. So to cover 1000 meter, car C requires how much time? 40 seconds. So hence, to avoid an accident, car B must cover the same distance in maximum of 40 seconds. So from second equation of motion, minimum acceleration can be obtained as s equal to ut plus half at square. By applying this equation, you can find the acceleration, that is 1 meter per second square. So the car C must accelerate at 1 meter per second square to avoid an accident.